What's up, guys? The Thomas and Uber Cup have just been announced, and I wanted to give my thoughts on the draws which have just been announced. The Uber and Thomas Cup will be on the 9th to the 17th of October this year in Denmark. The Thomas and Uber Cup are international tournaments, where the Thomas Cup is the men's national tournament and the Uber Cup is the women's national tournament. So unlike normal badminton competitions, the Thomas and Uber Cup are where national teams come up against each other and compete to see which team is the best in the world. Let's first look at the Thomas Cup draw, and in Group A we have Indonesia, Chinese Taipei, Algeria and Thailand. I think there's two nations here which are going to get through the group, and that's Indonesia and Chinese Taipei. They have some really good men's doubles and men's singles players. To come top of this group, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Indonesia have the world number ones, Kevin and Gideon, and also have some very good men's singles players with Anthony Ginting and Jonathan Christie. But of course, Chinese Taipei, Li Yang and Wang Qilin are in amazing form lately in the men's doubles, and they also have Chao Tian-chen in the men's singles. Although I think that I'm going to pick Indonesia to come top of this group, just because I think they have a bit more depth in their second pairs. For example, Rian Ardiento and Fajar Alfian in the men's doubles. Whereas Chinese Taipei don't quite have that depth in the quality in their second, third pairs, for example. I also think that Anthony Ginting's slightly better than Chao Tian-chen, and I think he might beat him in the men's singles. So I think that Indonesia are going to come top and Chinese Taipei are going to come second in Group A. In Group B, we have Denmark, Korea, France, and Germany. I think a guaranteed team to get through the top of this group is Denmark. Of course, they probably have one of the best men's singles teams in the whole of the Thomas Cup, with Victor Axelsen just coming off an Olympic gold medal, as well as Anders Antonsen, who's constantly improving and easily a top 5 men's singles player in the world. To come second in this group, though, I think it's really difficult to decide. I feel like Korea, France, and Germany are not quite that high of a standard. They're all good nations, but none of them are miles better than one another. Although I would predict that Korea are probably going to come second in this group, just because I feel like they've always been notoriously good in the men's doubles. Even though they don't have an amazing pair right now, of course, they have Choi Soo-gyu and Si Seung-jae, who are about a top 10 men's doubles pair. Compared to France or Germany, who don't quite have that quality. And also in the men's singles, none of these nations really have like a top 20 men's singles player to look out for. So I think it is quite a bit of a toss-up to come second in this group, but I would predict that Korea to come second in Group B of the Thomas Cup. In Group C, there is China, India, Netherlands, and Tahiti. I honestly think that China are going to easily win this group, to be honest. At the Olympics, they were the most successful country, and I think they're going to win the Thomas Cup and probably the Uber Cup as well, thinking about it now. To come second in this group, though, I think India are likely to come second here. They have some pretty good men's singles players in Cypronite B and Kadambri Shrikant. They have no pairs which are like amazingly good. In the men's doubles, they do have a really strong young up-and-coming pair in Rankareddy and Shetty, compared to the Netherlands, who are one of the better countries in Europe, but in an international stage are not quite as good as some of the other countries in their group. So I think that China and India are going to come top and second in the Group C. Group D is probably one of the easier groups to predict here again, with Japan coming top of the group and Malaysia coming second. The other two teams in their group are Canada and England. I think that Japan also are one of the best countries in the world, probably just behind China in my opinion. And then Malaysia also have some very good pairs. In the men's singles, they have Lee Zijia, who's one of the best up-and-coming younger men's singles players, who probably could be reaching number 1 in the world at some point during his career. And then in the men's doubles, they have Aaron Cha and So Wee-yik, who's a top 10 pair, maybe even top 5, as they won the bronze medal at the Olympics in Tokyo. And they also have some good depth as well in their second and third pairs and players to play in the men's singles and men's doubles, compared to Canada and England, who are the other two pairs in their group, who will likely be battling for third place in Group D, and potentially could have some upset wins, but I doubt they're going to actually beat Malaysia and Japan as a whole team. but we'll see. In the Uber Cup draw for Group A, you have Japan, Indonesia, Germany, and France. I think Japan are definitely favourites to probably win the Uber Cup as well as China. Um, Japan have some of the best women's singles and doubles players in the world. For example, Nozomi Okahara, for example. There's some really good women's doubles and women's singles players. I think they'll definitely beat Indonesia, who have some top women's singles and women's doubles pairs, but ultimately not the depth and quality that Japan have. Japan have like two pairs in the top five in women's singles and women's doubles, which is incredible, really. I don't think Germany and France are sort of on that level at all. Although I think they could get an upset win over Indonesia, perhaps. But I'm definitely sticking with Japan to finish top and Indonesia to come second in Group A in the Uber Cup. In Group B, there is Thailand, India, Spain, and Scotland. Thailand definitely favourites again to win Group B, in my opinion. They have some really good players. For example, Rechnok Intanon for women's singles, and even Pompey Chachuang, who's a young up-and-coming Thailand player for in the women's singles, who I think is like in the top 15, perhaps in the top 10 in the world right now. Even in the women's doubles, they have some strong pairs there, who are likely going to win this group. I think they're not one of the best women's in the one of the best nations in the Uber Cup, but their group isn't that strong, to be honest. They have India there, who's probably the second favourite. They have PV Sindhu, for example, in the women's singles, who's a really good women's singles player. But apart from that, India are not that strong, to be honest, either. But I just don't think that Spain and Scotland are that good, to be honest. Spain, if they had Carolina Marin, perhaps could beat India and might have predicted them higher, but I don't think she'd be playing in this tournament as she was out for the Olympics. I'm pretty sure with an injury. So yeah, I think Thailand and India are going to become top and second in the Uber Cup. In Group C, there is Korea, Chinese Taipei, Tahiti, and Egypt. I think this is one of the groups where almost the top two countries are guaranteed to get through here. I think Tahiti and Egypt, I don't really know much about them, to be honest. I don't think they have many pairs who are in the top 20 or top 30 in the world. I don't really know how Tahiti are even in it, to be honest. I had to look them up, and I'm not sure what sort of players they have. So it'll be interesting to see if they win many games or not in the Uber Cup and Thomas Cup as well. But the teams that I think they're going to come top or second, it's going to be interesting because Korea have the best women's doubles pairs. They have two really good pairs. However, Chinese Taipei obviously has the best women's singles player in Tai Su Ying. But if I had to pick a country to come top, I'd probably select Korea because I think they have a bit more depth in the quality of pairs and players that they have. They have more pairs which are in like the top 20, top 30 in the world compared to Chinese Taipei. And obviously this is a team sport where multiple pairs are going to be playing, so it's not just the best pair against the best pair, it's the best team versus the best team. So I think that Korea are going to come top of this group in Group C, and Chinese Taipei are going to come second. Then going into Group D, we have China, Denmark, Malaysia, and Canada. China 100% going to come top of this group, in my opinion. Probably like I said, joint with Japan, the top two best countries to win the Uber Cup. But second place is actually really competitive between Denmark and Malaysia. I'm not sure, this is almost honestly like a 50-50. I think that Denmark have slightly better women's singles players. However, I would probably give the advantage to Malaysia in the women's doubles pairs. So it's going to be a really close game. I'm not sure who's going to take this one, but I probably might favour Denmark, I would say, just because they're best country in Europe, and even though that they might have slightly less women's doubles players, they still have some very good top women's doubles players that will be able to give them a good game. And I think they'll be a bit more consistent over the whole group compared to Malaysia, and are likely to maybe take a couple games off China. But yeah, very close in Group D of the Uber Cup. That is my prediction for the Thomas and Uber Cup, which will be in Denmark this October. Let me know if you guys agree with me or not, with who you think will come top of their groups and who you think will win the Thomas and Uber Cup. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video to see more badminton content. Thank you.